So hello everyone. We actually started a little bit earlier today because I have a very long day today. I also have a speaking event um, in like a few hours. So I'm hoping that I'll quickly just focus here and then I'll move from here to that place as well. So essentially I know that this event will definitely start playing already, but I would see if I could probably do what I need to do. So when you're coming in, kindly just leave a like, comment. If you have any questions, please go ahead and ask before. Like if you've had problems with the first 3 days that we've had, you can just go ahead and ask questions. And as soon as you're coming in, you can just like the live so that we can rank higher, like I always admonish us. Please introduce yourself. I can see one person already on the live. You can go ahead and introduce yourself. Let us know. You'll get to meet you. And please, if you're going to be watching this on a playback as well, let us meet you so that we know how we can help you, right? Let's know how we can help you. Like we said, everything we're doing for the community is to ensure that everybody is literally doing amazing. Okay, so I think I'm about ready. This is good. So if you're just coming in, I came in very early today because I have a speaking engagement immediately after our event. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to cover a lot so that I can have at least an hour earlier, probably to just see my kids, make sure that they are good for the night before I jump right into my next event. Okay, so please, if you're coming in, like the live, comment, share. Let's get a lot of people on board as well. And then you could just let me know, like, what do you do right now, as in how have you been making money, how's the challenge on yourself. I mean, if this is your first time, just write FT. And then if this is not your first time, if you've done all the assignment, just write I am a mover. So I'm looking to see how many people are going to come on board so that we can as well just start our conversations. For me, I just want to see people do well. And then, like I said again, one of the services we also offer is that we are an agency. So it means that if you really can't set up your company, or you feel like you might not be able to build a community and you want to contract it out to us, well, so be it. We'll help you build the community, everything from start to finish, get people on ground, help you with your brand statement, your brand identity, everything. Like even advise you on what possible niche based on your background can cover. Okay, so please, if you're coming in, just kindly like and then leave a comment. Let me meet you. Like I said, our meeting is in 10 minutes, but today is going to be very busy for me. I have another speaking engagement, so I'm looking to finish quite early here so that I can run into another engagement immediately as soon as I'm done. So as soon as you're coming in, leave your comment, like, comment, share. Let's get lots of people on board, because today we're going to be discussing deep down into our brand, like branding. Like I said, personal branding, a lot of people would always say your personal branding is you. That's true, but like I said, we're in a world where people will literally say things about you effortlessly and by seeing you without even having said a word, and other people will literally take those narratives hook, line and sinker. So for us in the community, we don't want people second guessing you or not giving you an opportunity to show them who or you to show everyone else who you are. And so that is why for our community, we are not a crop of people who wait to be named. We actually come up with our names, we come up with what we can offer, we come up with jobs. Yes, I know, in as much as we talked about, we said we're also part of the things we're going to do is also getting jobs. 100% for me, I'm going to do that. In fact, that is what we're going to do in our second week. I'm going to teach us how we can use LinkedIn. All of us will go into some communities. I will show you how to cold email. Yes, cold email, because cold DM, yikes, I feel it's a yikes thing, right? But for people who do the cold DMing, I'm hoping that you're probably going to be on this live today, so you get to say how your experience has been. But I think I prefer cold email to cold DMing, right? So we will do all that. We will literally map up some crops of people and send them things. Now, the difference is, unlike before, where you are looking like you're the one needing help because you're going into a particular community, or you're meeting some people and you're trying to ask them for a job. This time around, you are already having a community, you're having what you're going to offer, you're having a skill. You are now the one who is going to be the needed. So you're going to look into someone, study someone's profile. Part of the things we're going to do is that we're going to copy people's profile links. It will run it through AI and tell us to probably come up with pinpoints of this person. And so once we do that, the next thing we're going to do is to send those people mails, and we will just see monies come on board. Like I promised you guys, it's 30 days, right? If you are putting in the work as much as I am, I'm hoping that we'll all dance with our testimony. Like I said, our first monetization bootcamp was my biggest, what's the word now? My biggest miracle, my biggest cheat sheet. I mean, literally, we had somebody who made 2,000 times. That's we're talking about in the hundreds of millions from that bootcamp. And then, of course, I would always tell people that money's on the table of audacity. That's number one. And then money's on the table of relationships. If you're somebody who has been abusing relationships before now, you might need to start paying attention a little more while we are all building, because in the end, your net worth, right, is your network. So every of these things, we're going to be talking about it. And then hopefully once it's 5, please let me know. Like I said, I came in earlier so that anybody who has questions, please go ahead and ask, leave a comment as well. Ask me anything. If you've done all the assignments before now, just let me know. If this is your first time as well, let me know so that I know where I can come in when I'm preparing. Like yesterday, I gave us the assignment on the when we started talking about niching down yesterday, right? In the sense that we'll develop our brand persona, brand statement, mission and vision statement that yesterday. But we said we're going to stem it from the Maslow hierarchy of needs. And the reason why, some of us will find out the reason why we might not really be making as much money, and probably the reason why we should reevaluate what success is for our own niches. Because if you are at the peak of the pyramid, which is the less needed ones, you might understand that your frequency of getting opportunities and jobs and even making transactions might be lower than people who are at the base of the triangle. So we're going to discuss all that today. So I'm looking that, like I said, I came in quite early today because I am hoping that I will leave here early. I have a speaking engagement and I need an hour to make sure that I set up my kids before I go into the next meeting. So if you are here, please stop spectating. No, if you can see me. And if this is not your first time of seeing me, my goodness, this is my course. If this is your first time of seeing me, kindly leave a conversation. Greet now. In your village, you don't used to greet. Just write something. And please like this live. Thank you so much for the first like. I wish I knew the person who liked the live first. So please like the live, comment. Let me see. Oh, Delight, welcome. You're welcome. Is this your first time coming today? Just let me know. Hi, because this is the first time I'm seeing this account, except maybe you're using another channel. So if it's your first time, let me know. As soon as you're coming in, oh, thank you so much. So you are my first like. I am going to look out for you. I'm rooting for you. Oh my goodness. That means you have missed out on a lot of assignments. Well, the good thing is that today we're literally starting from our whys. So it's a very good place. You came at the right place. But hopefully at the end of today, we said we're going to give everybody a whole day so that we can all come up with our, what did you call it? Our brand statement, our mission and vision, our brand persona, our target audience, all these things we're going to do today. So I told you guys, no pressure. If some of you have not yet niched down yet, we will help you do all that. And then we said part of it is that we're going to come up with a community name and a company name. Hopefully in our 3rd week, every one of us will register our companies. Even if you don't have money to register a company, you can just register a company name, depending on where you're joining us in from the world, because we are preparing for the long haul. So it's so lovely to meet you, Delight. Please help us share literally across all platforms. We'll soon be starting by 5. We still have 3 more minutes. So help share. Let's invite people, get them on board, because like I said, it's going to be transformative. And it's good to know that people are really pushing. And like I've always told my community people, right? Don't say there's no job. Instead, create jobs for others, right? And one thing I would say again, for you to even get job with any company at all is such an honor, right? To be the one who would leave your own personal dreams to work with other people. So jobs I think they're overhyped, personally, from my own point of view, and I'm hoping that a lot of people have that in mind. If you have mapped out in your mind some of the things and the creative ideas you need to come up with, then you realize that literally, jobs are overhyped. It means that every time you spend working on another person's dream, you are actually sacrificing. And I think every employer should give an employee the honor of working with people. Even in my community, those people who who volunteered, I don't used to bother them at all, because I feel, in as much as every single time when we have our leadership meetings, I will make more than half of the meeting about them. Like, I literally ask them questions. How is your communities? Because I make sure that everybody in my leadership also has their communities. Yes, I want them to be building so that they will know how painful it is, okay, to submit to their own visions as well. So if you don't know, in this literally our century, or this year and age that we're in, if people are not building and they come on your team, they will still be as lazy. You don't want people who are lazy to be on your team. So you want people who are working on their own stuff as well. I know they're going to be busy. That's why for me, I don't even put much pressure like that on my community members or my leaders or my volunteers. I just tell them whatever it is you want to do, just do. But then you must be working on your own dreams. So I'm saying this now because I know a lot of people are going to be listening to me, are going to be hearing me, are going to be working with me, are going to follow my thought and ideology. Every single time you drop your own dreams to work for somebody else is such an honor. And personally, I celebrate you for that. But I'm hoping that if right now at this time T, you're not working officially, you are not free. You will make billions of naira because you are not free. And I'm hoping that in these 30 days I'll be able to convince you and not confuse you that you can actually make money by you coming up with all the things that I've been doing. So if you're joining us today, you've missed 2 days classes. Like I said, it's a 30 days marathon challenge. We show up every day at 8 p.m. GMT plus 1, but then on Sundays it's 5 p.m. GMT plus 1, because our Sunday is a ritual because of the Phoenix Gate. Phoenix Gate has had Sunday meetings for more than, we're going to 9 months now. Yes, and 9 months of nearly 4 hours, 3 hours classes. That is a ritual. So we didn't want to break that ritual for Sunday. And then, like I said, the reason why I came in early today as well is because I have a speaking engagement. So as soon as I'm done from here, I am running quickly to prepare my kids for the night, and then I'll go into my speaking engagements. So if we have questions so far, so Delight, tell me, what you do? Just introduce yourself. All the people who are currently on the live, please leave a conversation. I want to see you. I want to hear you. I want to know the people that I'm helping. I want to be able to be proud of you. I mean, call your names in spaces. In some of these speaking engagements that I get literally almost every week, I want to be proud to see you transform, right? And then I'm hoping that would also be a medium of exchange. I really want to hope that everybody who is here would also get to meet you. And then for those who will be building their YouTube as well, I have something for you. But like I said, generally this is a monetization challenge, and then I think next week, by the time we have set up our companies and then our communities, the next thing will be to move. Like I said, for people who came in earlier, I said it, that the next thing we're going to do is to move into our creation of we'll definitely start selling our communities and our companies to people. So we're going to do a lot of cold DMing, we're going to do email marketing, we're going to build funnels by next week. So if you miss any day, it's going to be tough. People that missed day 1 almost dragged us back yesterday, but then I really apologize to them, because I understand that some of you might be hearing us for the first time. Like when I created the post on LinkedIn, I told people to share it. But well, some people shared, lots of people shared. I think almost 30 persons did a repost, but definitely it still doesn't mean that everybody is going to find it on the first day. So please, if you're here on this live, like the live, share, and then leave a comment as well. Is there a replay? Yes, we always have a replay, always. In fact, it's all labeled. You're going to see day 1, day 2, day 3, and it's really going to help your what did you call it, your journey. So one of the things we said was that once we're done on the 30th day, I'll unlist all of them, because like I said, it's also part of my course creation, because I'm hoping that at the end of the 30th day, it is now a course that I will sell. So I'll unlist literally all of them. I've been begging all the people to watch, or who need to watch, because I will enlist them on the 30th day, so that of course I can now start telling people that, okay, I have created a 30 days course for monetization. They should just quickly pay 20k, 30k, 50k. So I'm also already telling you guys some of the things. So if you have not started creating So we will watch. Okay, no problem. So if you've not started creating content already based off of what we have been doing so far, sincerely, it's going to be a whole lot of work for you. So please, if you're just joining, let me just see your favorite emoji. I think it's love that is usually on YouTube. So let me just see your loves going up, like I said, so that we can rank higher. Thank you so much for coming in early. All the people who came very early, I honor you. Thank you so much for coming in early. Yes, so today we're hoping that we're going to be more. So I'm hoping that you all just share this link. Please just share on your WhatsApp status so that we can get more people on board. I think let me try that. I know YouTube can be very funny to look like my network is bad when I'm trying to do. Okay, so thank you so much for waiting on me. I was able to also share that on my status. I had to quickly just share it on my status so that as many that can come in from my status as well can come in, because thank God this is Sunday, so it'll be lovely to know that people's lives can literally be transformed in one day. So quickly, we said today, if you have been around, just write I am a mover and you're here for my light. You know our tagline. If you've been around for the 3 days, I want to see I am a mover and you're here for my light. Let's just see you say that, and then we'll quickly just start the conversation. So Delight, please help me by writing what you do. So I'm going to give you a moment. I don't want to sound like I'm putting so much pressure on us, but then, like I said, I have a very short time today, but I'm hoping that we're going to cover up, so we'll be able to build from our Maslow's hierarchy of needs to then coming up with our profitable niches, how we can niche down. Like I said, the video is going to be out later, either tomorrow morning by 9 or today by 9 p.m. I don't know, because of that event I have now, because the video is already ready, but I need to do a few finishing touches so that some of you who have not even decided on what niche to do, you can actually just watch it and just say, okay, well, based on my background, I should be able to do this, and I can start my journey in that direction. That's for people who have not niched down properly. Then for people who just started virtual assisting because it's a common thing everybody does, like I still said, it is not a bad thing to just start. Nobody will shoot you if tomorrow you come and you change it to something else. The only shooting you're going to get is if you eventually get into your 3rd decade, your 4th decade, 5th decade, and you have nothing to show for it. That's where the short is. So I would always advocate, like I advocated yesterday, progress over perfection. Progress over perfection. I'm going to say it again. And then impact is at the mercy of visibility. So if you are making progress and people are not seeing this progress that you said you are making, you're also in trouble, in the sense that your impact will not be measured. So that is why we're hoping that today we're going to be balancing all that. So we're going to start from our discussion. We're going to start from where we stopped yesterday. So please, I am asking again, please introduce yourself. All this my watchers, my stalkers. Maybe should I start calling people stalkers? It's part of my tagline. I said your coach legit stalks my strategies. I know some coaches are here to peep what they will copy. Please come and copy, but please let us know that you are here as well. Okay, so let me see what Delight is saying. Delight says, I'm currently growing and positioning myself as a growth strategist, but I'm passionate about leadership, people development, and personal development. Okay, yes, that's still growth. That's still growth strategies. So it's for you. Of course, growth. I know when you're talking growth strategies, I know that you're literally talking about social media growth, right? But it's beautiful that you can advocate social media growth. That's the metrics. But then you're able to infuse all these processes like leadership, people development, and personal. Because in the end, I've told people, even in the video I recorded, I was telling people that literally people can be visible. It's easier to be very visible. Everybody will know you, After a while, let's say something happens to you, like platforms like LinkedIn, where LinkedIn can just clear you and literally nothing else your name anymore. Your accounts can just disappear, and you cannot register another account on LinkedIn in your name, in your biodata, in your number, whatever it is. You can't do it. Once they banned you once, you can't do it, because if they do it, they'll still take it down again. It's a matter of time. So places like LinkedIn, supposing something happens to you, and those people probably who were following you were just advocating growth for them, and all of a sudden there is nothing they can do again because LinkedIn has banned them. You see that there will be lots of frustration. Some people might give up entirely. That's why we're always advocating all-round growth, in as much as you're growing in metrics. And of course, we also know that in LinkedIn, your metrics is almost useless because they don't care. Even the algorithm doesn't care. You just have people who said yes to you in the sense of following, but even your posts to reach them, those people will have to be saying yes to your post before it reaches other people. So, I mean, it's a whole lot of gamuts. Unlike Instagram and Facebook and a whole lot of others, LinkedIn is just God have mercy. So if you want to stress yourself in a season, just know that if you become eventually very busy, your growth might not be eminent again and not necessary. So being able to find ways in your course curriculum to impute personal development, impute leadership, and also people development would be something that will literally make you stand out. So I think it's the same thing essentially. It's just that you need to add more. Okay. That's a multi-dimension. Okay, I know they call it multifaceted, but this is quite wide, like quite wide, from a growth strategist to a climate advocate. Okay, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. Then I think you should run an agency. If you're doing so much like this, it's better you run an agency so that you're able to, so it's now more like a collaborative effect where it's not only you, but you own an agency, you own an umbrella where other people can work with you. That would be much more better. But to have all that on your portfolio, I know that I'm also multifaceted, but is a lot of drama. I had to remove a whole lot of things from my what did you call it, for my about session on LinkedIn, because at some point a foreign client came into my DM and asked me, so what exactly do you do? I knew that there's a problem. So I'm hoping that you probably would also pay attention. You can just run an agency instead, set up a LinkedIn account, right? And list all the things you do. So it means that you have a community, and then the goal is you have to build community quick if you're a growth strategist. If you're a growth strategist without a community, then well, I can say that it won't be so good. A growth strategist without a community will be a whole long walk for you. But well done, you're doing amazing. So do we have any other questions? Else we'll just start the conversation. For all these watchers, watchmanis, God have mercy on me, that's somebody's name. All these watchmen that are watching me, why are you watching me? Are you being paid? Please leave a conversation. Hey, Happiness, I've missed Happiness today. Has been the person who is usually the first person to talk in all our events, but I miss her today. You're welcome, Delight. I look forward to seeing what you do with our conversation. So far, so beautiful. So far, so good. So I said, as somebody who's probably beginning, or somebody who is probably set out already on what they want to offer. Like I told you, one of the first things you want to do for yourself is to find out where your niche is placed on the hierarchy of needs. That would also help you know how important what you're offering is, as well as the frequency. Sometimes it can give a picture of demand, even though yesterday I told you guys some of the things that we were going to do. So we said, for those people who missed yesterday, find a starving niche, right? So those are the 3 pillars of identifying your niche. Find a starving niche. So it means that a lot of people are looking for answers, but you have it, right? So the next thing will be what we said, you should research if they actually are trending. So we talked about Google Trend yesterday, we talked about Reddit, and then we talked about Amazon, right? So we said Amazon Books sometimes gives clues of most sold ideations, right? What people are generally interested in. We talked about all that. Then the next thing we said was matching your passion to either like to match those niches. So we said essentially yesterday, we talked about passion and profit, right? We know a lot of people say profit before passion. Some people said passion before profit. That please, it's not about money. And I told you guys severally, those people that used to say it's not about money, be very careful around them, because in the end, everybody will want to make money. So I'll say it again, don't be in that crowd of persons who are saying it's not about this, it's not about that. All I believe is one thing, that the earth was wired for exchange. That's why I told you guys yesterday. I talked about the most medieval form of exchange was trade by barter. It simply showed that if you need anything, you must have something to get something, right? So that was essentially what we talked about yesterday. So from that yesterday, we started discussing Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which I said today we're going to pay attention. So I'm going to ask for people who were around yesterday, please type now. Abi, is it network lag? Tell me where you are in the what's the word now? In the hierarchy of needs. Tell me where you are in the hierarchy of needs. If you are in the base of the triangle, if you are in the second, the third. First of all, let me ask this question. How many tiers are in the triangle, and can we list them? Quick, let's be doing this thing. Let me start sounding like a teacher. Maybe this is the one you people like. Quick. You're going to submit this assignment now like this. So tell me where you are in the triangle of a hierarchy of needs, and do you think what you decided to pick is very important? So all of us, we know now why the personal development niche might not be having as many clients, because we know where it is on the triangle. Some of you know. Okay, so I love the way Delight actually mixed growth strategies to her own, because if you do personal strategies, personal development alone, you will literally almost not have clients, because a lot of people don't believe that they're not doing well. I mean, anyway, thank God for the sports niche. Okay, so again, it will be niching down. Who are you personally developing? Which group of people do you want to develop? It's going to also help you know how to find your clients. So I gave us an opportunity again. Please talk. And this network is fluctuating from my end. I don't know what I am seeing from this place. So please, if you're in the group, please alert our other group members. Please, if you've not registered for this camp, which means you might not have an idea. You might not know what we are doing, where every other person is. Please indicate on this live so that we will reach out to you, or you can check as well you can just check any of my posts. Like I said in the description, we have a form where you fill so that you can join every other person. So please let everybody know. I don't know what is happening to my network. Sometimes I will see people, sometimes I don't see people. Please, people should tell me, are people on this live? Let me not be, because I have asked question 1 million times. Please, based on your assignment, if you have not done your assignment, just write, I am moving. Just if you've done the assignment, say I am a mover and you are here for my light. If you've not done the assignment, just write we are making progress. If you have not done the assignment, just write we are making progress. That's what you should write. We are making progress. But if you have done, just write I am a mover, so that we know our family members now. So there's a adage in my tribe where we'll be saying, oh, good to see you, Ada. Ada, so it's today too you're coming for the first time. Please, if it's your first time, just write FT. Let me know those people that will be stressing me. Everybody, I don't know what network is doing. Sometimes I will see people, sometimes I will not see people. I don't know what is happening today. I don't know what is happening today. Okay, I'm trying to check my second device. So please, if you're coming in, just okay, first time. If you're coming in, just write FT if today is your first time. Hey, whoa, what's happening to my lights? Okay, maybe I'll just fix here. What's happening to my lights? Maybe I'll just fix here. What's happening to my lights? Maybe I'll just fix here. So if today is your first time, be writing. So if today is your first time, FT, this human beings. Una know they do assignment. Jesus. Let me pause this. I don't want to be hearing myself twice. Okay, and like you people want me to crazy on this live, but I'm not going to be crazy. I'm the one helping you guys. I'm going to be crazy. If you've done the assignment, see all of them are busy network. All of them will run in and run back out. Run in and run back out. What is going on? Where are these people? Where are you people going to? I don't know what's happening to my lights. Okay, So please be talking. I'm hearing you. I'm watching. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Okay, yes, I think my light is coming back. Okay, so let me compose myself. Because a lot of people are going to watch these videos afterwards. Well, thank God for the YouTube studio. I'll be able to edit out all these people's stress that people are giving me. So please, if you are here, kindly just state if you've done the assignment. If this is your first time, write FT. If you've done the assignments, just write what's the other one? You see these people, they will just be flying from one life to the other. If you have done your assignments, please write I am a mover. If you have not, say what did I even say? I say we're making progress. Type we're making progress. If you're around for any of the lives, maybe you came the first day, you came the second day, or you came one of the days, and then you've not done the assignment, just write we're making progress so that you can console me. But Ada, good to see you. It's been a while. It's been a long while. Okay, so what is I'm going to essentially just give us 2 minutes. Somebody said empty. What is empty? Delight. Let me give you guys 1 more minute. If there's no conversation so far, I will just quickly go. Okay, I understand that you're just coming. So please, after today, just go ahead and watch all the videos. They are already labeled day 1, day 2, and today is day 3. So for me, like I said, it's a challenge I put on myself that I'm going to teach a set of people, and I'm recording them as well because it's also part of my course content. So it's also part of my process of ensuring that everybody learns. So quick, today we're going to be talking essentially, like we said, we're going to be looking through what we offer and placing ourselves in the triangle of to find a way to see when we are building our brand, how we can touch all the tiers of the triangle. So like I said again, for people who are growth strategists, right, it will be a lot to know that you do this, you do this, you do that. One of the best thing you can do is to come up with an outfit where you can actually serve everyone. And I will say it again, agency is the best place because you can now have more people to work with, and in your communities, when job opportunities come that are not necessarily in your area of strength, you can outsource, you can partner, you can make profit together. So we're already talking about monetization. So like we said today, I don't know what is happening today. Let me focus on the light that is focusing on me. Okay, so we said that today we're going to be discussing essentially the Maslow's hierarchy of needs as regards what we're offering, how to find ourselves, how to come up with identify our niche properly. Like I said, some of us already have our niche that we're offering. Please, I'm begging you, in this generation, the best thing you can do for yourself is just at least try to niche down. Even if you don't niche down for one thing, just say, this is what I do. Don't be a peripheral person, right? Make sure that, okay, if I hold you on your neck, you can tell me that this is essentially what you do with your time. This is what you want to do with your life. So I'm saying essentially, make sure you niche down. No matter what you do, make sure you niche down. No matter what you do, right? And niching down, a lot of times when we are talking about niching down, a lot of people get under pressure because they think they can have just one niche. No, you probably can have other systems. Like for me now, I have a full-blown medical channel. I have a full-blown channel for what's the word now, for nostalgia. Like that's I just believe that there's a place for honoring people who have gone ahead of us, who have served the world at one season or the other, so, and who have made impact and are visible to everybody. So that means generally there will be emotional connection towards them, and growth is usually very easy if you're somebody who honors people. Okay, so that's another hot point there. So essentially that was what I said we're going to do today. So if you have niched down right now, the question would be, why are you not having clients? Is it possible that you actually found for your own circle of influence, like we always say it again, your network is your net worth. Maybe for your own circle of influence, you've already exhausted the opportunities in that circle. Is it possible that you can leverage on other aspects of needs that can answer the same question under this hierarchy of needs? So quickly, I'm just going to talk briefly. I think I was able to come up with a very small note, not something serious. I'll just talk about the triangle of needs. So we talked about the first and the primary one. So when you ask yourself all the time, why is real estate such a big deal? It's because in the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, real estate has the biggest base. Like, it is the main one everybody is interested in. Everybody is interested in shelter. So if you're a real estate person, this is not a time to be asking yourself whether you're going to make money or not. The question is not, especially if you're passionate about real estate, the question is not even you trying to answer your why already, because somehow you can rope in a why to your passion. But the question is, how can you get more people to come on board? Because definitely every single time you're going to have people come on board who will be needing what you do. So we talked about, for the lowest and the biggest base is the psychological: food, water, shelter, and warmth. Food, water, shelter, and warmth. So if whatever you are offering is within these bays, you're going to literally have a lot of people come to you based on that. And one thing I've realized with technology is that technology can cut through all the triangle. Okay, so somebody will ask me how. So imagine that my company is building a phone, and that's why Apple is very powerful, because on Apple, you literally, through Apple, you'll be able to serve people food because you can order through phones. You can offer shelter through phones in the name of Airbnbs. Of course, you can get a realtor through the internet, right? You can also have self-actualization, education through technology. So you see why technology is such a strong force, is that it's able to cover the whole length. So if whatever you are offering, so people who are into tech roles, tech job, you might, if you're building your community and you're looking to develop apps, right, you might want to pay attention to this hierarchy of needs, because it's going to help you know where you need to probably put pressure on. Like I said, technology is able to cut through all the triangle, like all the tiers of the triangle, but then some niches might not cut through all of it. So we said for the first one is what? The psychological needs. So we're talking about food. That is why the richest man in Africa right now, as we speak, is somebody who is into the agro business. And of course, we can't take it away. And you find out that some of the top 10 billionaires, right, especially in Africa, we don't seem to have gone too far in tech in terms of maybe ranking. Yes, ranking financially, but at least top 10, we have people in food, we have people in safety, that's real estate, and then we also have people in well, I'm not sure about climate change. So warmth, climate change, I don't know. So at least the good thing is that we have somebody, Delight, who is talking climate a lot. But I think eventually most of the monies that come into those climates is more research money, grants money, and then all those essays, opportunities to study abroad and all that, which is still good. But I said, like, for us in this community, our goal is to position ourselves to be the people who are creating. Even though you can still get jobs on your way up, but I still said it again, when you are getting these jobs that we're going to eventually start applying for next week, we said outrightly that when you have to leave your own dreams and start working for people, you're giving them that honor of building for them. So you're not now under pressure during interviews. It will be more like, it's an honor that I probably will not be doing exactly what I wanted to do with my time right now, because I want to serve you, and so you can trust me with your whatever it is. And because I'm generally somebody that stretches, it will be very easy for me to work for anybody else and move the person's businesses from point A to point B. So I was wishing that a lot of us were going to give our answers to these assignments already, so that we'll just cut through it. So we said for the next will be what? Security. So people who are into employment, that's why literally on all atmosphere, like, I don't know how to explain it, even in tech, people who do well are also HRs. Like, they will come in contact with those job opportunities. They can partner with multiple companies. They can hire for multiple, especially remote workers. So remote HRs, they can work with 10 to 15 companies and it will not affect them, provided you're a very diligent person. So we're now paying attention. So we said the first tier is food, water, security, warmth. Safety, warmth. So on the safety, shelter, warmth. So on the shelter, we talked about real estate. So that's why you find out that most people who are into real estate are the goals. Then the second tier, we talked about safety, employment, and assets. So generally, people who are into giving jobs. So if you are a company that provides opportunity for other people, you find out that definitely you have more. So the earlier all of us start building our companies from maybe 5-person run to 10-person run, you literally have an opportunity to serve more people, right? You literally become a desire of most people, because I don't know, surprisingly, a lot of people would rather get jobs than build one for people. And sincerely, I've asked myself severally, I'm like, why don't people even understand that it's super easier to actually create opportunities? Like, if I already have a skill, like we said yesterday, we did our 3 pillars of monetization, right? It's either you create content, right? Content creation, showing people what you do. The next will be creating courses, teaching people how you can do those things. And which I said most times it can be both. It's, in fact, it can what's the word? It can intertwine. So I said every video that we're doing right now, right, it's already part of my course content, because all the 30 days will definitely be monetized at the end of the 30th days. Like I said, I'm going to unlist all these videos and then I'll put them on sale. So you can see that while you're creating content, you're already generating courses if you planned it out properly, if you have it properly structured, which is what I did. I've done, like I said, I've trained over. So this is not something I'm doing for the first time, but it's also good to see that I am challenging myself to make sure that, okay, I can actually handle showing up every day, teaching people on a new platform, right? On a new platform as well, because those are the 2 things I was looking at. So I'm hoping that all of us, if you're just coming today, we already have a content calendar for everybody. Everyone is supposed to have been creating content by now. And with the mindset, like I told you guys, one other pillar, education, ensuring that you are your whatever it is that you are creating, you can literally collect them as a form of education. I mean, just literally putting people through your own journey, right? In fact, as I was talking just before this event, I had already created 2 quick videos that I'm going to post in my TikTok, because I know that the growth system on TikTok is very fast, and it's a good place to leverage talking about my journey, and then going lives. I've gone to a lot of lives, and I really love how some people who are super niche down, how they're, apart from the cruise people, right? Of course, there are people who are cruising. Well, that's not my own take, because like I said again, if anything happens to social media, can you actually print your resume and everything that you're going to be writing on that resume, even though you did them online, can literally fetch you a space because of how well built emotionally, mentally, how you're able to prepare courses, how you're able to stand out even in your communication. Like I told you guys, our community is very big on public speaking. So this is because we know that whatever it is people are doing on the internet can be replicated on the physical. And I said it again, for people who are not millennials, we know what happened when we're growing up. The whole concept of to go. We know that we cannot find to go right now. We don't know where it is. We don't even know what happened to that platform. We don't know what happened to BlackBerry pinging, right? Hopefully for me, like I said, next week we're going to do a lot of research. So after we've come up with our brand persona, our brand mission today, our statement and all that, and matching it with the people that we're going to be serving, the next thing we're going to do is research. We're going to research 10 people who are doing exactly what we do, and we're going to do a documentary. It's called the business documentary. So I'm already adding another assignment. Okay, so we're going to do a business documentary of all the people who have passed through our niche or are currently in our niche and are doing excellently well. Now, 2 things: you're going to have traction to your post because you're celebrating somebody that people already know. For me, most times I tell my community guys, right, don't be somebody whom is a very honorable person. If somebody teaches you something, if you learn something from somebody, don't be scared to spotlight them, right? If somebody mentions you on their post, don't be scared to share it. Be a giver, right? So that's essentially what we're going to be doing for next week. So let me not go faster. So we've talked about the physiological needs, so that you know that, okay, if you're in physiological needs, if you're not having clients right now, you are not doing enough, right? Or you have not sat down to develop your brand persona. You have not even decided on whom you're serving. You have not decided on your where to market. Like I said, amount of marketing. We're going to have people, when we're going to invite other people to our communities, we're going to have like probably a panel of 7 persons who are going to be talking to us on marketing. Hopefully on the last day of this monetization challenge. Like we said, all the people who will participate in the community will also have an opportunity to speak. That one, we're going to do a very big outreach to bring people on board, right? So we said that. So if you're in any of these two that I've already discussed, so we've talked about the physiological needs and we've talked about security, and you're not having clients, it simply means that you have not started paying attention on which platforms your clients are likely going to be. And all these things, we're going to discuss them shortly. So the next will be social, family, friendship, intimacy, and belonging. I've said it over time. When you are building any community, have a tagline. And I'm very serious about when we started our community, we are the movers and the shakers, and it's very intentional, because our community is a high intensity community. We're the ones who want to make people do things. We want people to come out of their comfort zone. And what best way to make people come out of their comfort zone other than telling them that they can actually move things? So I was even meditating yesterday. I was telling myself, should we just even say that I move things? I was like, yes, it's going to make more sense, but hopefully we're going to transition softly into saying I move things and I shake things, right? So essentially, make sure that your community, that cordial relationship, you get to meet people. That's why every single time we come on these live events, I always tell people, just say something, right? Comment so that people know that, oh, you came here. Even if you're going to be a team playback, right, or you're going to be part of the people who are going to eventually discuss this, one of the things you want to do is just comment, let people get to know you. Like I said again, there is no impact without visibility. That's just the truth. There's nobody who is making impact that will not be known. So you hear people saying that, oh, she made impact in that generation, but we didn't know her. But the truth is, you that you're talking about her right now, you are just bringing her to our visibility. Even if we didn't know her then, you were reaching where we could have actually eventually we've gotten to meet her. So eventually her impact was counted because you eventually met her doing it at one time T, and then you told us about it. So that's why it's very important that you ensure that whatever it is that you're offering, that you're visible at it as well. So we're going to go from that to extreme. So it means honoring people. Like for me, every single time, I always call my communities leaders, even if they are students and they are learning from me, I like to accord them the honor, right? And then confidence. I said it again. I was invited to speak, was it on Friday? And I told somebody, and it was because while I was meditating during the day, it was like it dawned on me, on my spirit. I was surfing the internet. I realized one thing. Oh, whoa. Let me enter my Yoruba elements, right? If you are not talking in this generation right now, sincerely, all I can tell you is that you're in trouble. That's all. Like if you're still somebody who is intermeddling with imposter syndrome, if you are somebody who is intermeddling with confusion, like you're still questioning yourself, you are in a major trouble. So important. So people who have outfits that train people for esteem, which we can definitely mix. Esteem can mix with social, right? For social and family, I told you guys that your network is your net worth. So I've seen people, you see people moving around there and saying that they don't need friends. I'm like, you have entered one chance. So if you say you don't need friends, it's a long journey for you. That's just the truth, because two people can just call it short for you that you probably be struggling here on internet. And that's why every single time I talk about collaborations, and most of the times when we have those live events where we people, you find out that sometimes we could even get our life up to 300-400 persons. That is where collaboration is. So but I said, for the sake of these 30 days, this is a course creation, a video course creation for me. I will not do that because, like I said, I want everything to be totally me, because I am going to eventually unlist all these courses, and then it will just be me. Anybody who is going to be watching this video eventually will just see it as me talking to them, like I'm gisting with them. And this is something that came to me because I realized a lot of people have difficulty staying through to videos that are very traditional. For some reason, we will still see it on this this hierarchy of needs, right? Everybody wants to belong. People want to feel like they are talked to specifically, right? That's why also having this pyramid in mind when you're creating content, it will help you know the content that will do well, especially content that from the beginning you can talk about whether a negative hook or a storytelling hook or a statistics hook. any particular, any type, video hook, sound hook, whether all those hooks, literally one thing that you definitely end all your posts or your content, whether video content with, is back to the person who is viewing. So most of the time, all this one-on-one niching down on people, developing that emotional connection will literally move your content creation and your video game as well as your business to another dimension. Okay, so finally we said inner fulfillment and self-actualization. So you find out that most companies who have long-term plans for their employees, right, or for their businesses, so people who do, if you notice now, the usual thing now is people doing the subscription method for community. People want to feel like they don't have to just pay once and just move away. They want to belong, they want to be a part of a journey. So you find out that those who definitely will add some of those tips into what they are offering, that's that inner fulfillment, that belonging, will definitely do well than people who just have customers coming and buying. So I said it again, if you missed Monday, we said all the people that are following you on social media, on the social media space, are not necessarily yours. The algorithm is doing too much right now. So whatever it is you're doing right now, make sure you have your email list, or you have a funnel collecting people into somewhere where you can reach them. Even now, from what we can see, even the WhatsApp now, some people archive some WhatsApp, right? I think so the best thing that can happen to your WhatsApp is probably making calls. So tomorrow I'm going to make call right before this event. Tomorrow, let's see how our turnout is going to be, because sometimes some people genuinely forget that something is happening. That's what I actually planned today. I totally forgot. So having discussed our Maslow's hierarchy of needs, please, it's still an assignment. I have not changed my mind. Find out where you are, right? Once you found out where you are, we're now going to our basic discussion of why are you passionate about certain things. Like I said again, we cannot be saying profit before passion. Don't do that to yourself, because like I say every single time, it's the long haul. In as much as we said yesterday that the pressure is not in whether you must do something long enough, but the truth is that honor is usually conferred on people who do things for the longest. So in the Nigerian parlance, you find out that people like Davido and a few other people who have stayed more than 12 years in the industry will definitely be called the 001s and all. So even on LinkedIn, whatever social media platform, it's not about doing marathon and posting daily. The people who eventually, who are consistent for the longest. So building a parapet for longevity is where connecting your passion together with your profits of ideas, your profiting ideas, literally can make you have the long haul. So a lot of people will say profit before passion. Don't be passionate. I'm passionate about teaching. Please, so let's look for something that will make money. No, I will say, how about creating courses? How about doing what I'm doing? How about taking a little course on coaching and then paying attention to your low-hanging fruits, and then you start coaching? So I'll say it again. Pay attention to what you're passionate about. Every single time I tell you guys, no matter what you're doing in this life, there's an education aspect of it. When I was selling physical products, like I told you guys, I've done business for more than 2 decades. Yes, I was born in the market. So I'm not telling you what I've not done. And then I've been a part of an ancestral system of business. So I'm from Anambra State. So it means that a lot of my family members, everybody sells. In fact, I think it's only 2 people in my entire family tree that I know that are working for the government, right? So all those times they will say government this, salary this. I never experienced it. I don't even know what it is until I got married, because my husband works. Because my husband is a medical doctor, he's a surgeon, so he works and they pay him. So it was even me, I was the first generation of people in my family that started expecting salary at month end. My parents did not raise me like that. In fact, there was no time at home where we said we did not have food. I cannot remember. I'm telling you the truth. And some of you, your parents are professors in Cambridge, but there are seasons that people will experience some kind of brokerage because you were paying attention solely to the educational part, or your parents were paying attention solely to the passionate part of what they do. So if I was a teacher, if I am a teacher right now, which is what I'm even doing with one of my professors, no lecturer, like he has doctorate, lecturer in school right now, because I'm also a master's student. Currently, we are pushing a narrative that would help him build his community, sell his products even as a lecturer. So he's now both a businessman as well as a teacher, and that's what most people don't know. So people just think, oh, because you are a lecturer, that's the only thing you do. And people in the STEM, oh, that niche. And every single time I have opportunity to host live, I always share it to some of my groups that I'm in, hoping that some of them will borrow sense. But unfortunately, not everybody will be like a Aproko doctor. So you find out that a lot of them are very broke. And if you see the salaries, God forbid. There was one time I was even considering, I had to ask myself initially when I started my freelancing journey and my coaching journey and all that, I asked myself if it was okay, because I've always loved medicine. I still do, right? If me going back to work as mainstream work is worth me taking my children elsewhere so that I can go to work. Because all of you know now, I always talk about the fact that I have twins, right? So by the time I heard the salary, even my children's school fees, one of my child's school fees, even my salary no reach am, or they allegedly what they wanted to pay me. So it's very funny and pathetic, and some people are just there not even coming up with something reasonable that they can actually offer, and they are bragging. That one, the group man, the person even sent me a message and was telling me, sorry, what we do here is research. I said, look at this man. So telling people that they can also have an alternative source of income, even with STEM, is now a crime. Oh, the brokerage that is coming on you is still gymming in Afghanistan. You just don't even know. So like I said again, please pay attention. That's why I said and don't be the type that you say you're shy. There's nothing like shy. I told you guys again, I'm going to reiterate it. And this one, I've never seen it anywhere. There is money on the table of audacity, right? There's money on the table of audacity, okay? So it means that if you have audacity, if you have confidence, if you can teach, if you can talk. Okay, sorry, I had a little network glitch there. Okay, so let's say it was a niche, a free course, and you're hoping to convert people after the one free class, and then you're coming and you're shaking on the live. Do you think people will trust you? No matter what you know, they'll just say, what's wrong with this one? She's not quite confident. Very few people. It will definitely not be Gen Zs, right? Because the more you're confident in your conversations and showing your expertise, the more people are likely going to trust you in whatever you're doing. Okay, so we still talked about the fact that you need to pay attention. So we said for niching down, it's possible that you can be a multi-potentialite. So we talked about those 3 pillars coming in my teaching elements, right? There's safety in lots of repetitions, right? So we talked about our pillars. So if you have not niched down yet, this is my story to you. Please don't be on the internet jumping from one place to the other hustling. I told you anything can happen to any platform. If nothing ever happens to any platform, you don't want to feel like you were used instead of you developing yourself. And most people don't take personal development seriously. But one of the things I can tell you for sure is that if you create content daily for 30 days, your life will never remain the same again. It's a promise from me to you. I am somebody who has disorders for the longest. You know what it means for somebody to have anxiety disorders? It means that just the thought of speaking, I panic. And then imagine that I read medicine with that thing, because medicine essentially is a place where our superiors, they sell anxiety for a living. I mean, you enter, for anywhere you enter, you can just expect that anybody can just jump on you and say, okay, yes, so what's the name of this patient? Can you tell me what we've been doing so far? What do you think we can offer to this person? What do you think we did wrong in the management of this patient? And you're just looking. So if you are somebody who has not figured out public speaking super early, I'll tell you again that this is your chance. This is your chance. And for every day that you wake up, you pray, prepare content. Like I said again, if you're just joining us, we've already given you a content calendar for you to create those contents. So if you don't make money on the 30th day, like we said again, for those who are just joining us, we have a project. Everybody already have their teams. We have a caption project where the goal is not just to work with these people, it's create relationship, get become better in public speaking, because all of you will speak in all those projects. It's definitely a competition, because we will definitely reward people at the end of it. I'll see what I can do. I'll make sure I separate money for it, so that we in our last camp we didn't give anything. Hopefully in this camp we're going to give something, because I'm believing that I'm going to come up with something very beautiful. And I know it would not pay me shingwine, but of course attendance is also going to be a part of it. So if you are here and you're a stalker, you don't want to comment, you don't want to like posts, so that I know that at least you're here, there's no way you can win that award. I don't know how you're going to do it. If I've never seen you comment on the lives, it's going to be a very hard thing to do. Okay, so I said, if you have not niched down, pay attention to those 3 things. So we said starving, what people are looking for. Then number 2, research, what do people really need. Yesterday we talked about Google Trends, we talked about Amazon, right? And then finally we said matching your passion together with whatever it is that you want to offer, because like we said, the goal is longevity. But even if you start, just like we said yesterday, and you stop and you move on to another thing, there is no pressure. You can still come back. If you're passionate, you can still come back to it. Like some of you, I'm going back into my physical products very soon, because my kids are going to be turning 2 soon. As soon as they turn 2, I am going to get my place, and I'm going to have an outlet that would accommodate both Phoenix Kids and my and also my products. So December is going to be fire. Some of you will see those products, but I'm going to do all of it. So I told you guys, if you're multi-potentialite, all the better. If you read my Maslow's hierarchy of need, you will know that once you have built a very vibrant community, there's literally nothing you can do with it. So I told you guys, always have a name of a community that can literally absorb anything. So when I start selling my product, it's still Phoenix Gate. Now you guys are going to see, right? But it's going to be Phoenix Gate of that product, and I'm looking to ship a lot of those things across the world. I've always done that. Like I told you guys, I started my personal business in 2018, but I've always been in business, right? I was always the supporting actress for my parents' business. So when I started mine in 2018, in 1 month I grossed million sales, and it was this thing that I'm teaching you guys that some of you might joke with, was the same thing I used when I started my physical product. I crossed 1 million in fact it was 3 weeks. That's what I did. And so I know that right now there's nothing I cannot sell in this world, right? It's one of the beauties of being a multi-potentialite. Okay, so having figured out we have also found out how we can niche down, right? How we can niche down. All of us, we have decided that, okay, it's essential you niche down, so that in fact, when we are hosting events, we can say, okay, let's invite this person to come and talk about something. In fact, one of the things that my company is doing in this month is that we are going to physical organizations, and we're dropping training. We're literally going to send them mails to tell them that we're going to come to their physical locations to train them in personal branding, because now the truth is, the more developed your employees are, the better for your company, because they can also spread the gospel of your vision. And like I told you guys, I've always had growth. My portfolio with community building and community Xing or multiplying my resources is not even a 10-year resume. I've seen it happen 1 billion times. That's me exaggerating. I've seen it happening countless times. So I'm hoping that all of you are paying attention, right? So if we've done all these 3 up until now, we are now back to the conversation of the day. Some of you I said my head is on fire, guys. I taught for 5 hours on the first day of my monetization bootcamp. So for some of you who are worried for me, don't worry, my mouth don't used to dry. So we can call this praise break. I don't know. Can somebody do turn down? I hope you're not getting too tired. So if you're not tired, say not tired. Who are these people on this live? We know the comment. What is wrong with you people? So we can call this a drama break, right? I asked drama to please. All these Nollywood people, please, people should come and carry me. The money I find, I can do everything through Christ who strengthens me. And all these Nollywood people, if you're here and you're in Nollywood and people are acting rubbish about medicine, please mind yourself and come and consult me. I can write a script for that. I can write scripts for hospital scene for you people. Let's go back to our teaching for the day. So having decided all the things where we'd want to stay, the best thing we're going to do is literally to sit down and decide what our whys is. Of course, I'm passionate already. It's all right. I'm passionate about this thing, and I found ways to make it profitable for me. So the next question is, why do I want to do it? Do I see myself in this thing for the longest haul? So all of us are going to write it. So most times your brand statements would answer that, right? Your brand statements will answer that, right? So I've told you guys that this is part of our assignments. We're going to write what we think that our brand is going to offer. So if the brand is you, like your personal brand is you, definitely. But for me, every single time I'm talking about personal brand, I'm also thinking corporate branding, because most times people might not be, except maybe you are well versed in social media. This kind, you're a social media celebrity. People will still want to still want a portfolio and official documentations of your corporate body. So that's always looking at it as us doing the two together. Make sure you do the two together. So while you're building your community, you've come up with a tagline, brand statement, ensure at least do company name registration. I think the last time I checked, somebody told me it was 25, somebody told me it was 15, somebody told me it was 20. Sorry if you're from other countries, I'm just saying what it is in Naira. But what I did was I liability, limited liability company. That's what I did. I did my LTD completely at first go, because I knew I was going for the long haul. And I said again, the name of my business was going to give me an opportunity to delve into many things. And even while I was reading the description of what my company was going to do, I went from coaching, consulting to health services. So yes, I plan to build a hospital as well, because I'm hoping that I'm going to be a part of the solution of healthcare. I still have a healthcare channel. So if you're here and you've not subscribed to my healthcare channel, I'll let you know what I do. I collaborated with my husband on that. We are discussing everything in the other room. So my husband is a urologist. So it means anything infertility, anything pregnancy, anything ED. I might not call the name here. For some of you who know, right? We handle that for people who are looking to conceive. New channel, so I'm hoping that some of you can join in. Once we get to a 50 subscriber on that particular channel, I'm looking to get to 1,000 very soon. I just need to have an introductory video, because the healthcare niche is a very hot niche. So I told you guys that we're going to have, we have a video that will be live today. I think I did 6 top profitable niches. It should be after today or tomorrow, so that it will also help you pay attention when you're trying to niche down. You can find ways to position yourself. And the good thing about YouTube is that you can have up to 10 channels that are saying entirely different things. It's not like LinkedIn or even Upwork. I think Upwork now has an opportunity for you to create different profiles that will still interpret. So they are beginning to honor the fact that people are actually multi-potentialites. And I think people are waking up to that. Like for somebody like me, all my life, I've done business. And then the only contacts I eventually have with medicine is 10 years, which is still very huge, right? 10 years is huge. But compared to the fact that I've done like 2 decades in business, pure mainstream business, you can't also play with that. So that's why, and that's why you should also pay attention to all your low-hanging fruits, because some of the things that you learned effortlessly. So like me, I always tell myself, I can sell anything. I tell anything. I tell myself that, and those are some of the confessions that you should be telling yourself, you should be having about yourself when people are having conversations with you. Because like we said again, when it comes to monetization, it starts with the mind. So for people who don't want to charge, is a mentality thing. You don't have a value for your time. That's why you don't think that charging is, you're thinking that charging, if you give your life to anything, which is usually what I do, I believe that I deserve enumeration, and that's what I think all of us should be comfortable with. So we've gone from Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So for people who are going to be niching down, I'm looking forward to seeing what niche eventually, whether your before and after is still the same thing. If the niche you eventually niche down to was what you've been doing, please, you're going to say it in the assignment. Somebody's asking me what time. When we are live, it's all right. Okay. So what's the word I was saying now? Hey, this person just asked me a question out of my... Okay, so essentially what I'm saying is this. We're going to know, yes, if you're before and after, if you made any adjustments, if you planned, if your company name is having an agency in mind, meaning that you collaborate with lots of persons, so that when we start getting those job opportunities, even me, I have targeted people on LinkedIn, and having to do this, all of us as a community, will also strengthen me, because most times I'm very busy to even contact some of my business associates. Some people have even sent me messages concerning getting people on board and all that. In fact, there's one particular client I have now that I am onboarding, whom I know that a lot of people in the community, people to work with me, with the person, because the money is really very good and the money is very huge. It's not something one person can just clear, even though I'm a potentialite, I can do all of it, but I'm hoping that I'll bring other people on board as well. So that's essentially part of it. So once we are done, we have deciphered what we want to offer people by niching down. I've told you guys the 3 steps on how to niche down, things to consider when niching down. So when you have now niched down, the next thing will be research. The next thing will be research. So you all know that we talked about our brand statement, mission and vision yesterday, and today we're talking about our brand persona. So having had our brand persona, that's what people now call target audience, right? It means that you should have like a photo or a pictorial representation of whom you want to literally be a part of your target audience. So most times you find out companies, they will say, this is Shade is a 10-year-old, 5-year-old, 20-year-old young startup entrepreneur frustrated about. So for virtual assistants, startup coaches, startup entrepreneurs, solopreneurs are people that you know definitely are going to be your highest low-hanging fruits. Most startups might not pay well, that's just the truth, but then definitely they would definitely need your help. So it means that they are part of your target audience. And of course, if you want to work with big companies, you can state it outrightly. So you need to have a picture of the person, the demography. Like for me, based on all the posts I've been posting on my channel, in fact, just from social media, you'll be able to know the kind of people who are interested in what you do, especially if you've offered that particular skill for maybe a month or 2 or 3 months. You can start trusting your analytics, because those people are the people who naturally gravitate towards you. So for me, for my channel, I normally will have people within the range of 25 to 35 come into my channel, because that is the peak age for making money, right? I see them every single time. In fact, when I started my journey, it was the United States were the people who were the highest rank of my viewers, but now they leveled up after a while. Then Nigeria is top, followed by the US, then the UK. So I watch my analytics very well, and depending on the people you want to serve and your product, their names can change. Like when I was doing my physical product, definitely my physical product was a Shade, because I knew it was somebody who was traditional, somebody who would love what I sold, somebody who understands class, who is probably a top level class, because I sold even laces and all that, right? Which I'm still going to do. So for the people who are looking to buy things to send to their parents abroad this Christmas, I'm your girl, because I plan to ship a lot this year. I'm talking about in multi-millions, right? I'm shuffling. So I'm hoping that the people who are in the community, who are in the UK, US, who are looking to have touch with some of my physical products, I will discuss all that much more later. I can get them across to you, because I know that that's one of the difficult things a lot of people experience, how to get African attires across. So you can see that I'm already part of the base, right? Shelter, clothing and shelter is in this. Okay, so you can see why products towards fashion can never go out of style. That's why the fashion industry is a top tier industry. Even for people who are on YouTube right now, who are growing their channel, people who, you can check people who probably, I've seen a channel that started in, was it January or February, that is the fashion and style. And it's not even the person styling himself. All the person was doing was getting celebrities, right? Putting celebrities on posts, and the person has literally blown to, I think, close to 30,000 subscribers. So you can see that if you pay attention to this Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right, it will even help you come up with different channels that you think that somebody might need. You might not entirely be interested in those channels, but all you have to do is to get materials, tag people appropriately. And please, on this YouTube, try and avoid music as much as possible. For people who would definitely also put YouTube as part of their monetization, or who would want to save their courses on YouTube, you would also want to grow, because if you send your link to your community or people and they cannot what's the word, if you send your link to people and they are not seeing your growth, it might not be so good for you. So that means if you're going to host your course on YouTube, it will also be good that you also have some form of growth here. So essentially that's about. But then of course you can always host courses across all platforms, or you can do a website embedding, in the sense that nobody would generally have access to your YouTube directly. What you can do is, once you create the course, you put it on YouTube, then you embed it into your website. So that one, people might not know whether you're having 1 million subscribers or 2 subscribers. The most important thing is that they paid for your course and they're going to come in and watch it. So yes, back to my discussion. So I said, haven't niched down. We're talking about brand persona, right? So you need to call a name. So for me, the brand persona for the Phoenix Gate is Phoenix. And all of you are usually, when we were doing our lives with, of course, when we have a very big life, we definitely will use our introduction and all that. And we definitely do a streaming with third-party platform. So what we normally do is, when I started the Phoenix Gate, I prayed. So if you're not a spiritual person, or you're not somebody who meditates generally, it's going to be tough. If you're always busy in your head and you're broke, Jesus, it's double wahala. Right? I'm saying this even for people who are going to watch a playback. If you're always busy and you're broke, it is double wahala for you. I'm just so sorry, but that's just the truth. That's what's going to happen to you. It's double wahala, because if you are broke, you need a lot of quiet time. And that's why this generation is really going through a hard time. A lot of people, once they have access to the internet, they will stay on the internet. Even there is such a thing as passive meditation. It means that, okay, you are binging, but you know that the outcome of your binging is knowledge. You have your book beside you, because once a light hits your spirit, you quickly leave what it is that you're watching and you go and write. And that's, for me, that's how most of my contents are organic. I've almost never written scripts for my content. All the videos I've created, I'm serious. Even this one that I'm talking now, I barely, and it's because I meditate a lot. You need a peace in your mind to be able to have healthy conversations, and you need a lot of meditations when you're having startup, because sometimes those ideas will come to you when you're at peace. And if you're a troublemaker, gossip, jealous person, sincerely, you see those things, them and money are like this, they are opposite direction. Money is going this direction, and gossip and jealousy is going this direction, most of the time. And that's what most times people, even if you're doing well and you gossip, it means that you actually would have done better if you relieved yourself of all those drama. Okay, so we're saying again, it depends on what you call success to be. And guess what? Success can always get better. So if you're not improving because you gossip and you're not spending your time properly, it's still on you, right? So now we said, so I was talking about Phoenix Gate. Our brand persona is Phoenix, right? And it's a mythological bird, because it is a bird that always comes out of a dark place, right? Comes out of a dark place. That was the name I got while I prayed, right? In the sense that, and I was going through a hard time in that season. I've always known that things were easy, but the way people used to be classists, they will now. That's why I think yesterday in our classes, part of the argument we had yesterday was because somebody online was castigating the whole Nigeria because of social media. The person called to hire social media manager. Blood of Jesus. Social media manager. And the person is calling out the whole Nigerian workforce because of social media manager. Because of social media manager. I'm going to say this in 1 million times, so you can see how funny that is. And based on the spirit of the Phoenix Gate, is a total abuse. I mean, I literally cried. I'm serious when I read that post, because I know that a lot of people are going to lose job opportunities because they read it. Some people will lose job opportunities simply because somebody will come into their DMs or might view their profile and just see Nigeria and say, sorry, initially I wanted you to help me on a job, but I heard that you guys are quite some handy. And then it might just be somebody who is super very excellent. Sorry, give me a moment. I don't know who is knocking on my door with such gusto. Sugar! Sugar! Sorry, 1 minute, guys. Sugar! Sorry, my husband just passed, and then how does somebody be hitting my door like that? So let me just continue. I beg. Hey, Jesus, I'll still cut all these parts. For those people who don't know, the editor, that's the studio, you can actually cut out all the interruptions. Okay, so back to my conversations. So for me, I saw the fact that a lot of people are making money from classing people. That's where the money is. Sometimes that's how people make money. So they will bash you, then they'll make you feel insecure. Then even when you're working with them, you still be feeling insecure. And that's against the spirit of the Phoenix Gates. I tell my people every single time, there's nothing you cannot do. And that is why you are a mover, right? You're moving things. There's no job you cannot sit down and learn. So I say it because that's outrightly my spirit and my passion. That's my wiring, the wiring God gave me. And that's why I tell people every single time, when I decided to start remote work, I'm telling you the truth, and it always happens to me. If I find out something new, I will never sleep until I execute it. Like when I started my video edit, so all my videos on this channel, I've never outsourced it. All of them, so you can go, all of them, whatever I'm scribbling, all those, I do it myself. Once I'm ready to do a particular thing, I will just sleep, will just leave my eyes. And some of you will not believe the time I slept yesterday night, and I had to be in church before 6:30 today. I think I went a little bit late. I went 6, I did 6:30 something, right? That's because, of course, we had my husband helped out and all that, prepared the children. While me, I was super tired because I barely slept around 2, and I had to wake up in 3 hours. And for me, that's what I normally do. So I'm not saying what I'm not. When I developed a persona for my company, I knew it was everything I was, the Phoenix, and I prayed myself into that place because I was in a season in my life where I just looked at myself. I said, "Hey, Vivian, me, like, did somebody look at me and say I'm not good enough for something?" Hey, Jesus, Kotoriba. That's in my tribe. It means it's an exclamation that, as in, some people are crazy. Kotoriba is like nonsense talk. Like, you see me and you say I cannot do something. Every single time I want to start any endeavor, I call it total immersion. I will just block time. My friends, everybody will now go define me tire. Okay, so if you're from other countries, it just means that you guys will literally be looking for me. I do shut down. Both emotionally until I get it. In fact, I'm even treating my LinkedIn like that right now because I'm trying to also grow my YouTube. Once I find a new endeavor, I do total immersion. That's the spirit of Phoenix Gates. In fact, that's another name for it. In fact, that's our first physical conference is going to be total immersion. That's the name, so that everybody who comes will know that when it comes to standing out in the field, there's a price to pay. And for me, paying the price is not a hard thing. It's something we do. Like, I do what I do, right? You just decide that this is what you want to do with your life, and then you just do it and not amplifying it. And that's why I say again, that's why the negative hook seems to have more traction, because people sell fear in whatever form. And for me, that's the work of the Phoenix, to break, castigate, destroy every form of fear. And we have demystified expertise. Just forget about it, right? If I need to get something done, I just do it and pay attention, spend more time, give myself more time. Even you that say you have this PhD in it, I'll beat you hands down. Phoenix Gates. So when you're choosing a brand persona, you must make sure that whatever it is that you eventually choose. So every time on our live events, on our life as like a general life, you're going to see the bird, right? It's a sign, a reminder that every time we show up, our job, and that's why our coaching company is like the face of our company, because we are doing other things, right? Like I said, we're going to have a physical event, and it's so those people who came for, and those who will be binging on this material eventually, you've known the name of our conference for the year. So that's essentially what we're going to do. Total immersion. I mean, we're going to demystify career businesses from ground up, raising voices in Nigeria, Africa, and beyond. We're saying that enough of that nonsense. So that was why exactly when I saw that post by a Nigerian who moved abroad, saying that she's going to take her workforce out of Nigeria because she moved abroad and she got $15,000 per month. I weak. I'll ask you again, if you do your assignments very well, what is $15,000? Juju. Okay, so that is me going tribal, right? It means question. I'm asking you a question. What is $15,000 if you do your assignments very well? What exactly is $15,000 if you do all these things that we've been talking to this point? A lot of us, like I said, we have given into laziness and hopelessness and this negative hook, guys. And most of the people who are coaches, they always paint themselves as they know it all. So when you go around them, you shrink. You can't even think. And before you know it, you will now be thinking that, oh, those people who eventually make... See what God taught me about. I'm going spiritual right now. God taught me that leadership is stewardship. Money is stewardship. That's what he told me. He told me that money is trust. So leadership is trust. Money is trust. So it means that if you have money right now, is that God honors the fact that you're going to use it properly. Even the universe honors the fact that you put in the work to have it. And so we know that you are going to dispense it properly. And it's nothing. That's why sometimes in some months, freelancers now, you people will know some of the things we go through. That's why some months you might not make any money. Then some months you now make up to 10 million naira, 20 million naira. But then it's not robbery. It just simply means that you should put your head down because you can learn at any point. Even her, as I was telling her, the lady that posted that post, I told her outrightly, I said, Madam, better pray that this post does not affect your company, because if it does, you're gone. That's just the truth. And you go from 15, that's the thing with freelancing. Go from $15,000 per month to literally almost zero because people don't want to work with you. And because you referred to an entire nation in a certain light that was not okay. So, like we said, okay, back to our conversation. So when you're choosing your brand persona, make sure that your passion is intertwined in it. It's going to give you an opportunity. So I said it again, even if it's one person that was on this live, I would still talk the way I'm talking, even if it's two people. But of course, I said that it's always better to bring more people on board, right? But even if it was two people, I would still talk the way I'm talking. It's because my why is a transgenerational why. And because a lot of products have built themselves around this lie, I have a whole lot of work to do. So we've gone from brand persona. Now we are going to brand statement. All of you are going to come up with your own. Some people will call it the tagline. You're going to come up with something that everybody is going to use to recognize your brand. You already know ours already. Then the next thing we're going to do is that we're going to write our mission and vision statements. You can use ChatGPT. You can actually tell ChatGPT, I'm interested in this and this. Could you probably give me 50 names that can interpret what I want to do effortlessly? Then you can weigh in on them. Choose your best 3. Then maybe in our next class, that's tomorrow, as we're just entering, you can just be dropping it. Okay, so this is what I think I want my company name to be, or my brand persona. You know, your brand persona is different from your company name, but it's possible that it can be the same. So for us, the Phoenix and then our company name is the same. It's very easy because, like I said, where this name came from, it came from a season of pain. So I knew exactly what I was going to do with my life, right? So even if you can see that from our brand persona, I can enter any sector confidently. Yes, I can enter any sector confidently, especially any workforce, any business, I can enter confidently. Okay, so I'm hoping that all of you will pay attention to that as well, so that whatever it is that you are coming up with can cut through the triangle or the hierarchy of needs. Okay, so we're done with statements. So you come up with your mission and vision. I've told you how to come up with that already. So that means we're already getting very close to tomorrow's assignment. So tomorrow we're going to be doing a business documentary for your niche, right? We're going to be researching top 10 persons in what you would love to do who are already doing very well. So you can break them into the 3 pillars: people who offer courses, people who are social media influencers, and then people who are billionaires, who are in the 4 billionaire list. So I said 3 pillars again: those who are in the social media space, those who are in the course creation space, and then because some people just create courses and they are not, no, they only just show up to sell courses and move. I will say it again: as much as possible, when you're picking these people, pick from the people who are nearest to you to the people who are high up, right? So once you do that, we're going to copy. Please, I'll need a list. Just copy. You're going to do a research and you're going to come up with a documentary. So that's our assignment. Like I said again, right? You can see how I'm looking on this video. All your videos can be like that, and you can make them on 1 minute. Hi everyone. So today I'm going to be talking about Otedola, the richest man in. I'm just saying rubbish. I know it's not Otedola. No, he's the richest man in Nigeria, but I'm just going to say it for the sake of saying. So, hi everyone. Do you think you would want to know about the richest man in the oil and gas? Are you sure you want to know? I have currently 10 people on my list, but you wouldn't believe their worth. If you think you would want this form of information, maybe it will inspire you. Stay to the end of this video, and then you start calling names. This person has this network. So we're going to do a lot of business documentaries. So if you have created your content calendar based off of what we have given out, then you're good to go. If the business documentaries is not part of it, but definitely you have to research, because you don't want to be just because ChatGPT gave you a content calendar and you're just doing it momushly, when there are people in real life who have already done what you are doing and you've seen some topics that have worked for them. You don't want to wait for ChatGPT to tell you what to do. So most times, in fact, some of the fastest growing channels just model another channel. That's just the truth. And then give honor where necessary. If in the course of your recording you got some ideas from a particular person, you can just call the person. A bigger shout out to. So one of my videos, in fact, there's somebody in our last boot camp that said something. So I mentioned her name in the video, and she does what I do. So it would have meant that, okay, if people hear her name, they might want to go and meet her for what I do. But I still told myself there's a place for honoring people, and I said her name, and I even said it in the video that if you do want to contact her, kindly just leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll reach out to her for you, or I'll give her a number, whatever it is. Because some of you don't understand, this life is a marathon. All this nonsense you are doing, competition. I said it one day in the life where someone invited me to speak. I say, you like this startup, you have not even reached startup, you're already having competition. Guess what your competition is? It's like and comment on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on TikTok. The word is, hey, yeah, who did this to you? So if you're in the believers community, somebody will say, oh, foolish Galatians, who did this to you? That means you have not even started, but you're already having rivalries. That's very funny. Ha ha ha. That's the word. Okay. So once we have gotten to our research, I think, let me see if I can take questions. If you have any question, because we're almost getting to the end of today's class, because like I said, I need to prepare those. I have a speaker engagement in a few minutes, and I will need to prepare my family members for that. So if you have a question for so far, like if you were listening in, please, I don't want somebody that just jumped from one life to the other to come and start asking questions. I beg you, please don't embarrass yourself. And just as soon as we end this life like this, just go. All of them are 1 hour. It's not long. You can even just play them while you are cutting onions or you're doing other things. Then you can ask question on tomorrow's. Like I told you, it's a personal challenge on myself, but it's also a course creation challenge for me, because everything I'm saying is what I teach, right? But unlike my boot camps, like my monetization camps, what I did was, in those camps, people were interrupting me, were discussing, but this is a didactic. I did it on purpose. It's the one way who would eventually watch these videos will just feel that I'm talking to them personally, right? So this is why this 30-day course creation is exactly what I am going to give to anybody who enroll for my monetization bootcamp. Exactly. And I've told you guys severally, if you think I'm joking, go to my my LinkedIn and see the price on it. So if you're not showing up and you are broke and you're not hungry, that's another thing I'm gonna say. So please, I'm gonna take questions now because I'll be retiring. Like I said, I have a speaker engagement. I want to settle my kids before the next opportunity. So please ask questions if you have. Ask questions if you have. So I'm hoping that a lot of people today, even if you're a multi-potentialite, right, have a name to all the things you do. If possible, come up with channels. You can have up to 5 YouTube channels. Create channels for all of them. And I told you, creating the channels can just be for your course. Just create channels because of your course. But if you have another place to host your courses, it's still good. But YouTube is a very good place compared to all other, all other platforms right now are either wannabe platforms or they just came out. YouTube is it's 20 years old. So at least it gives that. I told you guys there's a place for longevity in business too, right? So it gives that it will still be here. And for me, God, I always have nostalgia. I don't know who is like me. I always research old music. So for last night, I was in Two Face. I went to Two Face collection. I was just singing yes so and then I went a bit all those Kongwaso and the rest. I don't listen to those kinds of songs normally, but recently I started saying maybe I should take out bias of my lenses and see people who have actually paid the price. Like anybody who exerts energy in any direction should be honored, right? Of course, it's very important that we ensure that people get better when they hear us. So I also still filter what I listen to. So guys, I'm gonna wait for question. I wait for question. I give us 6 minutes to tell the question. If you ask the question, I answer the question. But if you don't have any question, I call it a night. I say you go back, you do your assignment, and we finished on time today, so that you get more time to do your assignment. You come tomorrow, and then, like I said, if you are not doing your assignment, we are having competition at the end of the 30 days. We're having competition at the end of the 30 days, which means that by the time we're having the competition, when you are talking for your group or you're talking in your panel of discussers, if you didn't do it, oh no, your conversation will either be sounding timid or strength. And I told you, if you do those assignments with your heart and life, right, you send it at courses at the end of the 30 days. So I'm saying that apart from the fact that a lot of us are going to be making money when we eventually start applying for those jobs, because we're going to get the jobs, or some of you will be selling courses on that 30th day. And guess what? I am with you on that. Even me, I'm creating this course as well. And I'm hoping that everybody who is going to watch this as well would watch it with the intent of teaching, because they will also be pushing their own narratives. So I'm going to give 5 more minutes. We've gone down by 1 minute. So if you're here and you've not yet liked this live, please like it. A few people liked today upon all the people that we had coming. Now, wow. All the people that we have come in, they were not liking the event. All this stuff that I was just dishing out, that some of you will pay 100,000, 500,000 for, is what somebody passed, dropped in and out. Anyway, those people that used to do, they're YouTubers. They're always looking for crews. And after 10 years, you'll now be asking yourself what you did with your life. God have mercy. So please, I'm going to give, let me just reduce it to 2 more minutes. If we don't have any question, we'll just call it a night. And then I will call you my mover, and I'll tell you that I am here for your light. I'm going to hear your story. I'm going to see you push. I'm going to see you better. That is what essentially I am here for. So if we don't have any further questions, let me not just push it too far. I'm going to be ending this live in 4, because I know that there are time lags. 3, 2, and 1. Thank you so much. Please share it to your friends and families. Tell them that they could learn something or two. Do have an amazing day. Good night.